Hello Maestros, it's Composered here, and I have another video for you. Today it's going to be on writing for ensembles. Now, we are going to be starting off with a five staff piece, and it's going to include a string quintet, or more like a string orchestra, because these are all violin sections, viola sections, cello sections. And then this contrabass is actually string bass. I don't know why Finale calls it contrabass, but we will go ahead and give it a shot. So, now, when you're writing for ensembles, you have to combine three essential things. There are counter melodies, which we haven't talked about just yet. There are melodies, and then there are the just harmonic lines, I guess you can say, or rhythmic lines that are normally occupied by the bass instruments. They get the fun job. But we will get started here. So our melody lines will typically be occupied by either the violin and occasionally the cello or the viola. These guys are interchangeable with the violin, but normally first violin is our melody instrument. Then we also have second violin, which is typically a counter melody instrument, and then the string bass, which is a bass instrument. Cello can double as a bass instrument, and viola typically doubles as a counter melody instrument. So to get started with a melody for the violins, we can start with something semi-simple, just an idea that you might have thought up. Like, this is in concert F minor, so we'll just start off with an F and maybe do some arpeggios. There we go, that sounds like a pretty good line to start with. Okay, yeah, that would work. It could be a little bit faster, so what we'll do is we'll up the tempo to 100. Can we get rid of this? There we go, that sounds a little bit more like it. I'm going to up my volume on my computer because it's a little low for my taste. There we go, that sounds good. Okay, that is about perfect tempo-wise, and it's a good melody line to start out with. So, it's normally a good thing to either come in all together at the very beginning or with just a melody instrument. You can change however you want with your piece. Typically, I start out with like a little bit of a solo from my melody instrument or bass instrument, something like that, just something to start, because I don't like coming in with a chord tone at the very beginning of the piece. But then we can move on into our next measure, and this is when I'm going to start adding the other pieces to our song, the counter melody and the bass line. Eighth notes, I think, would be good. And let's end our first phrase real quick by putting an F. So let's listen to just the melody line, and then we'll start adding some other parts. Okay, that sounds good for a melody, but it does need something. It's a little bit lacking. So what we're going to do is start plopping some notes into our cello, because cello is typically where I like to start off with. And then we'll resolve to a C. There we go. Let's see how this line sounds. That sounds good. That all fits in with a relatively similar chord. We're resolving on like an F chord where he's playing the fifth down here in the cello line, and before that we're adding some tension. That's another topic I'll go into in a later video, but I think that sounds good for now. Now that would be a good bass part also that we can kind of modify, but we'll do a counter melody now. So this is an ascending line because it's starting from a lower note going to a higher note, so we're going to start with a higher note and go to a lower note. And then switch to some 16th notes to keep on the line going from the top. Similar rhythms, but also different at the same time because you're flip-flopping the two beats. Then maybe we'll add an F sharp to kind of change it up a little bit because it is a G chord here. And then we'll add the third because that's our only missing note. Let's see how this sounds all together. That sounds actually really cool. I like the sound of that a whole lot. So I think that is a very good start to writing for ensembles. So basically what you want to do is start out with something that you can kind of get an idea of for the melody. That it might be something super simple, or it might be something a little bit more complex with more complex rhythms or harmonies or things like that with your notes. And then from there on, I like to add the bass part to kind of get more of a foundation, and then add the harmony, counter melody. So melody, bass line, counter melody. That's how I would go about it, and try and outline different chords as you're going through. Now, if you haven't gotten to the point where you are writing about chords or writing about rhythms, I'm going to make a series for you, but this one is going to be for people who are ready to take the next step in music composition. So if you guys want to check out the beginning series, keep an eye out for that video. But for now, this has been Composered. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Any questions, ask them down in the comments section. I'll be free to definitely answer those for you. But again, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.